everybody, welcome back to the channel. And for this video, I'm going to be answering a question that a lot of people have had pretty much. And that is, what are throwaway tickets? So when we start talking about your airline tickets, your travel tickets to come here to the Philippines, a lot of people are mentioning that you're going to need a throwaway ticket. People are like, what? Throwaway ticket? I don't understand. So that's the purpose of this video. And when you come to the Philippines, even if you plan to live here and retire here, if you are not a resident, like a permanent resident or a citizen, when you come here, you're going to have an exit ticket. That's pretty much just a requirement that immigration at the airport is going to have. This exit ticket is just a ticket that shows that you are going to be leaving the country within, say, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. They just need to have proof that you're coming into the country and leaving the country. The thing is, if you're moving here and say you intend to get a tourist visa when you first get here, you're not going to be buying a ticket to go somewhere else because you're not going anywhere else, right? You don't have to leave for 3 years. But you're going to have a ticket that you show at immigration at the airport when you arrive. So what people can do is you can go online and you're going to find a very cheap, the cheapest possible, one-way ticket out of the Philippines. Doesn't matter where it's going to, doesn't matter what time the flight leaves, doesn't matter if it has certain extra whatever for luggage, or it doesn't matter. You're not actually going to be using that ticket. You're just buying this ticket so that when you come into the country, you're going through immigration and customs, you're showing them all your paperwork, and you're waiting for them to give you that approval stamp. You just have to have something to show them that says, yes, here's my ticket to leave the country in 2 months. You're never going to get on that airplane. So what's going to happen is, in a month, whatever, when that flight's going to leave, you're never going to board it. That ticket, as long as you've shown it to immigration, you're in the country now, you just throw it away. You just throw that ticket away. That's why you're going to be buying the cheapest option possible. Now for this, there are a couple different options. So if you look at the video where I'm talking about a good way to find the best rates for your airfare, we're going to be looking at Google Maps, or sorry, Google Flights. That has a lot of different search options that allows you to see prices for a variety of different locations. And one of those options you can do is you'd pick one of the departing airports in the Philippines. Usually Manila is going to have the cheapest rates. And your search area is going to be like a large bubble. You're just going to move it around to different countries. China, Philippines, or sorry, not Philippines. China, Taiwan, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Japan. You're going to be looking at just all these different areas at the main airports around you, and you're just going to be looking for what's the cheapest flight. Another option you can do is you can go on to some of the airline pages here in the Philippines, like Philippine Airlines, and see if they have any promos, any specials. Because you're going to be able to find some of these cheap, very cheap tickets on promo deals. Now in the past, I've heard people that are paying $15, $18, $23 for their throwaway ticket. Personally, when I found one, it was leaving Manila going to, I think it was Singapore, and it was going to cost like $40, $45. So a little bit of money, but not much. Yeah, it's $45 you're going to throw away. You're not ever going to use it. The way you can think of it is just whatever the price for that throwaway ticket is, it's just part of your ticket to come here. You know, it's just think of it as part of that cost. But that's really all it is. You're going to book your flight here, and then just a month, 2 months, 3 months later, doesn't really matter too much as long as it's not like 8 months out. Just go and look for whatever the cheapest flight is out of the Philippines to some other country. Doesn't matter if your ticket shows you're flying to Liechtenstein or, you know, Africa. It doesn't matter as long as it's leaving the Philippines. And you just, whatever that cheapest rate is, boom, you buy your ticket, you have your ticket itinerary so that when you come into the country, you're going through immigration, you're going to show them that. Once you get to your destination, your house, hotel, condo, whatever, I would personally say hold on to that information. At least keep your email with the confirmation just in case. But a month later down the road, when you're totally certain you're not ever going to need it anymore, just throw the thing away, delete it, whatever. You're not ever going to actually board that flight. And that's it. That is what people are talking about when they say a throwaway ticket, because literally you're just going to throw it away. You're never going to use it. Hopefully this has answered the big question a lot of people have. Thanks for watching.
All right, so now that we are talking about throwaway tickets, we're going to be going ahead and looking at Google Flights again. And I'm going to show you some really cool tricks that this has for finding those very cheap throwaway tickets. So first off, we're going to be flipping this over. So we're departing out of Manila. Manila is always going to have, from my experience, the cheapest rates possible for these throwaway tickets, just because there's a lot more flights out there. As far as your destination location, you can do whatever you want. Personally, I just start off with just something close by. And then your departure date, this part, it doesn't really matter that much. So again, you're not taking a flight. You want it to be within, I'd say, within 1, 2, at most 3 months of when you arrive. Try for around 2 months. We can see that a lot of these, because we're talking short distance flights, the prices are basically going to be the same. So right now, let's just go ahead and just click on one of these. All right. So we're seeing from a one-way trip from Manila to Taiwan. Okay. Our cheapest rate is 37. And from there it goes up to 60. Okay. 37 is not that bad for a one-way, for your throwaway ticket. The time that I came here towards, February 2020, when I was looking at these tickets, my throwaway for the same route, Manila to Taipei, was like $45. So it can vary around 40, but this isn't too bad. Can we do better? This is where that nearby airports option is amazing. The reason is because you see here, so we've got this red marker showing us the city location. And we're going to see all the different prices that are within those filters. And we're seeing that, yeah, a lot of these places way, way, way outside of the price range we're looking for a throwaway ticket. What I can do, though, is I can click and drag that little red marker. And as I'm moving this, it's going to start locating other airports within radius of the marker. So we've got Taiwan there. So let's, grab the actual marker instead of, we're going to move closer to Hong Kong. Okay, right here I can see Hong Kong, $33. This one, $35, $39. That's Macau. Like, we're seeing a lot of decent, good, cheap prices. But if there's a reason you don't want to go there or whatever, you can still keep looking around. Same thing, we're going to grab this, we're going to just move it around. So here, going to like Vietnam, we're looking at $68. It's not that much cheaper. Or sorry, it is a lot more expensive. These ones are quite a bit more. And that's all you're doing. You're just going to keep on moving this around, looking at different areas. Even if you find one that's a really good price, I would still suggest you keep on looking around, because you might find that some of your pricing is a lot better. Now here we've got one, 37. It's the same price that we were seeing out of Taiwan, so that one's not that big of a price improvement. You also want to focus a little bit more on your popular locations. So here we've got in Thailand, 59, so good price, but not what we're looking for on a throwaway ticket. Oops, trying to drag this a little bit better. So here we can see Singapore. This one's only grabbing these, so we got to drag it a little bit closer to Singapore. So there's no flights going to actual Singapore during the date line that we chose. Typically, you're going to find that going to Singapore is actually a pretty good flight as far as price-wise. This tricky little bastard's not grabbing a marker. There it goes. Oh, all of a sudden now it refreshes. So here we can see, Singapore 35. So that one's not a bad price. And you can keep on doing that all over. I mean, you could drag it to Indonesia, Malaysia, all these different locations surrounding the Philippines. We can go and drag it to wherever we want to. You can always assume a flight going to, say, Japan, going to be a lot more expensive. I can't personally remember any time I've ever had a throwaway type ticket price going to Japan. Just not gonna, excuse me, it's just not gonna happen. But if we start looking at, say, Korea, hey, this old laptop is just not good with stuff that wants faster. So here we can see going to Korea, it's 39. But I mean, we're able to start looking around at some really good cheap tickets. Now, so far, cheapest one that we saw was going down there to like Guangzhou, whatever, China area. That was like $33. If we can find it again. I know we saw one out here somewhere that was like 33 bucks. But you get the idea. That's really all we're looking at doing. You're just dragging this thing around, moving it around, and you're going to try and see where you can find your cheapest flight options. Because this is a throwaway ticket, destination, all that, none of it matters. All we care about, maybe it was here. Yeah, so Hong Kong International, 33. So far, that's the cheapest we've found so far. And that's it. That's how you can go through and be able to find those cheapest rates using Google Flights. One other option you do have that I mentioned earlier is if you go to a website specifically for the airlines. So again, here we see Cebu Pacific, Philippine-based airline that's offering that. If you go to their website and you start looking at different promos, specials, you might actually be able to find something that's cheaper. If it's direct from their website, it's possible you could get one of these flights for $20. And it's very possible. I've heard people buying tickets that cheap, so I don't think it's that difficult just to go to their website, take a look around. If you're not really seeing anything that's a decent price, I mean, like here we can see that same flight and everything, $91 for almost the same flight. That's $33. So you might be able to get those really good cheap fares. Hopefully that's helpful. Thanks.